This is another EG Recap, and I'm your host, Jack Lindsay. In today's news, I've got 3 stories for you. EVE Online is going to be offering grief counseling to new players that lose ships. Nintendo releases a teaser for a new Peripheral device. And Days Gone is finally getting a New Game Plus mode. Our first story by Mr. Irwin is titled EVE Online to Console Your Loss. And this is kind of a weird one. EVE Online has built itself on a foundation that the strong survive and the weak exist only as long as the strong allow it. Thousands of players give the game a try each year, and of them, only a small percentage stick around longer than a week. But why? Well, EVE is often a winner-take-all experience, and if you're ever the loser, you can lose it all. CCP Games knows that that's the nature of the sci-fi beast they lead, and part of the charm of why it's survived since 2003. But CCP Games also knows that more players are a good thing, and they've been brainstorming ideas to retain a larger number of new players. CCP Games is developing the means to integrate a literal grief counseling program into EVE Online, specifically for these new players. Now, I'm going to need to know what you guys think about this in the comments. The idea is that once the program is available, when a player loses a new ship, they'll be directly contacted by an in-game moderator. The moderator will be tasked with explaining to a new player exactly what happened, whether it's their fault or not, and then ease them back into the game from there. Sometimes even with a replacement ship. The program won't always have a human touch. Eventually, they'd like to compile enough data to just make it a quick, painless, automatic process to teach new players more quickly. They want death to remain a big deal in the context of the game because high risks make high rewards feel all the more valuable and the experience feel more real. They also want to give new players a leg up so they aren't just bumbling around in space or get frustrated and quit before really experiencing the game. They want to give new players a helping hand when their first in-game tragedy befalls them. The announcement came during a 3-hour fireside chat along with other topics. And if you look at the comments section on the video, and that video is in the article that I've linked below, you'll see the fan base appears to have quite a mixed reaction to it. And Jonathan asks his readers what they think. Let me tell you what I think, as is my privilege as maker of the recaps. I find it kind of hilarious. Kind of weird and hilarious. I mean, grief counseling? How emotionally maladjusted. It's a game. I mean, not there's anything wrong with really getting into a game and being passionate about it, but sometimes you lose. Sometimes you lose, and that's okay. That's kind of how life is, you know? I mean, what is this? Molly coddling. It's an imaginary spaceship. Your imaginary spaceship got blown up. If you need counseling for that, what are you going to do in real life when your real life car gets totaled? And just listen, when a player loses a ship, they'll be contacted by an in-game moderator, and the moderator will be tasked with explaining what happened and whether it's their fault or not. Now, Johnny, this is your complimentary counselor. It looks like you've been set on fire and blown to smithereens by space pirates. I just want to let you know it's not your fault. And then a replacement ship on top of that. And then they want it to be done by robots in the future. Like, is it just me? Am I the asshole here? Or is this just kind of like, it's like some kind of sci-fi motherly AI program? I mean, what if this started happening in other games? Johnny, this is Mother. I'm here to tell you that pack of zombies just chewed your face off. You didn't do anything wrong, and you didn't deserve it. Mother's made a new face for you. This one's always smiling. You couldn't even frown if you wanted to. Don't run away, Johnny. Don't be sad. Stay and play with Mother. Smile together. Forever. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about this. Let's get on to the next one. Story number 2 is slightly less goofy than the first. Also by Mr. Irwin, Nintendo teases another wacky peripheral. Nintendo, a company so innovative that sometimes it hurts. This household name in gaming is often associated with fun, family-friendly first-party titles and a long history of questionable product designs from controllers to extra peripherals to consoles themselves. Yeah, I think they have had the weirdest controllers. That N64 controller was bizarre. The GameCube one was weird too. And the Wii, ugh. It looks like we're about to have another one of those head-scratching announcements, as Nintendo has just teased a new peripheral in 1 minute and 23 seconds that showcases all the fun people can have with a flexible rubber hoop. The product looks to be a hoop and a leg band, each of which you attach a Joy-Con to. Through the trailer, you see people pretend cycling, pretend lifting, pretend resistance training, and more, though depending on how sturdy it is, the resistance training might actually be for real. We'll see. Why not for real cycle, or for real resistance training, or for real lift? Or Nintendo's secretly preparing us for life on other planets where we won't be able to go outside and this will be the only kind of exercise we can get. Needless to say, whatever it is, the clear implications are that it's a spiritual successor to Wii Fit, and yet somehow seems less useful than the 2008 Nintendo-based exercise program. It's important to note that it's just a first impression based on a very brief teaser. Nintendo will be revealing more information on September 12th. On the bright side, at the very least, this looks like it'll be a functional fitness peripheral. On a brighter side, there are worse things Nintendo could come out with, like the Nintendo Power Glove, which took the #1 spot among Mr. Irwin's picks for horrible controllers on consoles. And that article is in the article that I've linked to below. Now, I've recorded the audio for this one before I've actually seen the showcase he's talking about, so let me just check that out real quick. I'm now seeing what you guys have been seeing while I've been talking. Oh, Lord. What do different countries have to do? That doesn't make it any less absurd. Yeah, let me tell you, that's going to happen. People are going to gather around a grown man lying on his back on the floor and kicking his legs, and they're all going to clap for him. You know what's really weird about this? You don't see what any of them are looking at it at any point. You just see them grabbing on, stretching, and pulling the rubber hoop, and everyone's elated. Watch this thing make millions of dollars. This can be part of the therapy program for the grief counseling for when you die in a video game in the future. Johnny, it looks like... Johnny, it looks like Mario fell into a volcano. Here, get on the floor with this rubber hoop. I'll give you a new Mario. Smile, Johnny. Pull on that rubber hoop. Oh, what a world. Our third story, another by Mr. Irwin. Days Gone is finally getting a New Game Plus mode. Fans of the early 2019 release Days Gone will soon have another reason to hop up. I'm sorry. I'm still... Oh, that hoop, man, and the grief counseling. All right, let's do this. Fans of the early 2019 release Days Gone will soon have another reason to hop back on their motorcycle and brave the freaker infested... Okay, no, for real. Brave the freaker-infested territory of the American Northwest. Game director at Bend Studio Jeff Ross has announced that Days Gone will be receiving a New Game Plus mode that fans have been asking for since before the game even launched back in April. Following the initial announcement, he went on to outline more of what players can expect via the PlayStation blog. And since this quote is so gigantic, I'm just gonna leave gameplay on in the background. If you hate it, if you want to read along even on the really big quotes, let me know, and your wish is my command. Players can now re-experience the epic journey through Days Gone. This time with the advantage of previously earned weapons, bike upgrades, narrow boosters, skills, recipes, encampment trusts, and credits, collectibles, and trophy progress unlocked from the beginning. New Game Plus can be started from any save game where the I'm Never Giving Up storyline has been completed. You can play New Game Plus on any difficulty level, easy, normal, hard, survival, or try it in one of our 2 new difficulty modes, Hard 2 and Survival 2, regardless of the previous difficulty mode. These new difficulty modes are not specific to New Game Plus and can be experienced by brand new players as well. Perks from patches earned in challenges continue to carry over to the main game, but now they can be used in New Game Plus and all difficulty modes. So if you haven't started any of the challenge modes yet, I highly recommend going for gold in each challenge in order to maximize your gameplay perks before New Game Plus releases. That's clever. That's a clever marketing strategy. I don't know if you'd call it marketing. I don't know what the official term was. It's a way to maximize people playing your game. In addition, we have a few new trophies available to earn in New Game Plus Hard 2 and Survival 2 modes, including one related to a mysterious new weapon from an agent that only operates in the shadows. I wonder if it's a hoop. This is the perfect opportunity to return to the Pacific Northwest and replay your favorite horde encounters, take on ambush camps, and clear infestation zones with your expanded arsenal. But remember, this is Days Gone, where the world comes for you constantly. And that was the end of that giant quote. To round out the end of the blog post, Ross also announced a 25-track vinyl soundtrack for Days Gone that will be available for pre-order beginning September 11th through Mondo. Mondo? Oh, it's a website. Okay. He's actually got that hyperlinked in the article below. While New Game Plus is welcome, a surprise drop of a harder difficulty and another new survival difficulty are a welcome sight as well. The update will be available next Friday, September 13th. Oh, we've got a Friday the 13th coming up. That is what I need. Bring it on. And that'll do it for today's recap. What a weird one, but really fun. As always, I appreciate those likes and comments and shares and subscribes. I do read the comments. You guys know that though. Hopefully it won't be too long, and maybe these recaps can bring in additional viewers, grow the channel. That's the hope. That's what my humble efforts are working toward. Time will tell, and time will bring you another recap. Until then,